Bergen busstation.
I was just looking at it. Oh, careful with your nose. Oh, you got marshmallow in your nose.
Did I?
Yeah. I could see it going on your nose. It was like, I know where that's ending up.
Right, I think we had a spoon. I think it looks good.
Mr. Mott,
Yes, Mr. Sim.
would you like a cup of tea?
Oh, I would like a cup of tea, yes, please. I use the Lipton yellow bag tea.
Okay.
That's the black tea we want. Do, 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 do. Okay, I probably have a bit of room in my bag for some groceries.
Well, I might just carry the others in my hand because they're all like a little bit.
I would say from our end, it looks like the stream itself is actually just even, because when I speak with a microphone, which is a mono signal, they both jump up to be roughly the same volume. So I think it's the stream which is slightly lopsided. Yeah.
Little satchel.
And the little satchel. find my camera. Oh.
Breakfast of champions.
A breakfast of champions. Because for me, the reason I work with the live audio feeds is because for me, the live and the real time, the sounds developing as you listen to them. The inability to listen forward, you can only listen to it as it happens or as it arrives in the microphones. For me, that is how I work with audio and reality. And I would like to hear about how you ponder the relationship between recordings and reality, because the moment you record something, it is now taken out of the time frame of reality. So, for example, when you re-show your sound work at Borealis, like, the reality you're presenting is a reality that has happened. And I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on that.
And then there's the other layer of having had the live process of listening to each other and editing things together and mixing things together. In between that and the moment of showing. So there's another processing and time frame put on top.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I think all of us somehow worked with field recordings, and we did discuss this a lot, of what it means to record something and then it's already out of the context of that moment. And of course, already to record something, you make a lot of choices with the recorder, with the type of microphone, where you're standing, who you are. Everything matters. So then, what is left? I don't know if we actually developed a clear answer in this workshop. It was only a week. But I think in the workshop we worked a lot with the listening together, and then figuring out and discussing what it meant, these recordings. Yeah. Do you want to add something, Ingrid?
You know, it's only that for me it was it had a lot to do with experiencing the place we are at in different senses. You know, like most of us trained visual artists, for instance, and going in with microphones and headphones, and it's really a different kind of experience. And we're all seeing the Mongstad on Norwegian television, like for the news for many decades, at least. The ones who is born in Norway, it's a big thing, you know, and it's overwhelming to look at, but it's also overwhelming to listen to. It's really a lot of noise. And how to explore noise, I think, is really difficult. But some places it wasn't that much, but some it was really, really loud when we went into the big machines.
And a lot of things that just really don't make sense. Because we were following the CO2 and then we were guided, everything was guided, so of course but then at the end they were talking about the research they do about the carbon capturing, that they capture it in the pipes before it goes out into the air, which they know how to do, but they release it anyhow because it's too expensive to put all this technology into the factories, but they could. They have developed the method, but then they don't do anything with it, and they just released it back into the air. It's just a lot of this weird things.
And having not heard that original piece, were these conversations with the kind of officials of the CO2 process, were these included as field recordings, or were field recordings limited to what we might call environmental sounds or the sound of spaces?
I actually haven't listened to this piece in a long time, but we didn't record like our conversations while mixing together, but there was some parts of people that were there to explain us things, like the guides, and there was this algae project that we were at the end, where the algae, they transform the CO2 into something else. And there's some parts of those conversations that were included.
Yes, and I remember this because I'm actually coming from radio and podcast, and I was more into that, interviewing people, than actually doing field recording. So I talked a lot to people, and it's well, how can I put it? It's kind of an art of itself to talk to people, to ask questions without being annoyed or like offending them, you know. And you come as
they were very skeptical to us because we came with all this weird equipment and recorded everything, and they didn't really know. There was like weird microphones, and they were very skeptical.
Yeah, but I kind of talked to them about how their daily life was at the factory, or like who they were and why they worked there, you know. But we didn't use so very much of it.
This is a nice rainy stream from Snake Marshes by Carolyn and Ursula. Before that, we passed through Takeout Community Garden in Fife, Scotland, the stream by Casca Hempel and Jim Proctor. Following that, a really long-term stream at the Green Estate on the River Buell by Home Sounds and the National Trust. We couldn't listen to Dove Cry Island in Northumberland by Martin Eccles, or the Nature Reserve in Newport, Belgium by Katharina Lindekens.
Nå er vi oppe, folkens. Nå må du putte opp litt. Tar du de av tur når du kommer bort? Ja.
does seem to be. Oh, it's not so unique. Yeah,
Nice. Well remembered.
Santi Marca.